small ret in the airlock.
Copy. Andy, just that bag is on my BRT red, it's on my BRT, jaws closed, paddles out.
Copy. Then once Drew has a power cable, and once he's released his waist tether from the airlock D-ring extender, then you can give him a go to egress.
Andy, just out of curiosity, that large small ret and the power cable is hooked to the AET hook, AET D-ring. Is that, you want me to take it? You want me to leave it here?
Just a second. So, Drew, are you talking about the AET that has the cap keeper on it?
I've now got a ret on the AET with the cap keeper, and the other end is hooked to the soft tether on the cable.
Copy, that sounds good.
Okay. You guys don't need it, I don't need it. All right, so I've got the cable in hand, and Ricky, if you're clear, I can join you.
We have a 20-second handover in 10 seconds.
So again, at this point, both crew members out of the airlock. They're doing their initial setups, getting the bags out, making sure their equipment tethers and their restraint tethers are in a good configuration. We're already just about 15 minutes into today's spacewalk, which again began officially when they switched their suits over to battery power at 7:06 a.m. Central Time, 8:06 a.m. Eastern Time. Today's spacewalk planned to last 6.5 hours with 3 primary tasks, setting up some new cameras with the accompanying power and data over by one of the docking ports for future commercial crew vehicles, and then replacing a camera and its light, a degraded camera and its light, and then closing the door on one of the external experiments over by the Japanese segment, which is eventually going to get loaded into the trunk of a SpaceX Dragon on a future mission.
All right. How you looking? You look good in that suit. All right, I see your... See my green light? The manual isolation valve is up. Okay, on the right side? On your left side. That's the boy. So it's closed. No, it's closed. I see it. Oh, now it's down. Now it's down. Okay, door is closed though? That's your manual isolation valve. Didn't we just go through this? Yeah, sorry, that one was up. I felt it. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yours are both down. Yours are both down now. Looks like you got 1, 2, 3 tabs up. Got your lights on. Safety tether looks good. Your helmet camera. Is your helmet camera light on? We're missing. Okay, just so give a quick check of you. So green lights on. Your helmet lights are off. I see 1, 2, 3 tabs. Turn to your left, right a little bit. Turn to your right. 1, 2, 3 tabs are up. Your safer handles are down. I see your red hook close and lock on your D-ring extender. I see your anchor hook close and lock on the circular handrail. Sounds good. I see my red hook close and lock on my left D-ring extender. Yep. And my anchor hook close and lock on the on that handrail there. Yep. 0554. Hat is dry. Gloves look good. I got a dry hat, good gloves as well.
All right, we copy good buddy checks and a dry hab for both of you, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, we can begin our...
Couple years that I've had a...
And whenever you're ready, you are go to begin translation. Ricky, you'll be going around ESP2 to the gap spanner to the lab, then forward along the starboard side of lab until you get to the intersection to node 2. Once you get there, let me know, and I'll give you a handrail for your green hook. And Drew, you are going nadir around the high-pressure gas tanks on the airlock. Follow the gap spanner, nadir around the end cone of the lab. When you get to nadir of the lab, you'll take a handrail in and then follow the gap spanners to the port side of lab. And I have a handrail for you when you get to the forward end of lab as well.
Copy that. Thank you, Andy. Much appreciated, Andy. And keep us apprised of our pacing and let us know if you guys are happy, please.
Sure, will do.
Cable look okay hanging on the swing arm? Yeah, it looks really good, actually. Okay. And then I didn't get a check in your bag, but it looks like it's kind of hanging out behind you at the moment. Too far behind me, you think? Well, it's okay. I'm assuming it's tight just off to your left. You could probably almost see it out of the corner of your eye, but I think you're in good shape. All right, tighten it up a little bit. Fall back. Take the time. We'll follow you around and watch you go. Sounds good.
And as we approach 20 minutes into today's spacewalk, the two crew members ready to start translating or moving along the outside of the station to their first work sites. They just completed buddy checks, basically just looking at each other's suits, making sure that all of their equipment is in a good configuration. They take a look at the handles on the SAFER, the Simplified Aid for EVA Rescue device, making sure their tethers are in a good configuration, also looking at lights for things like the helmet cameras, which we'll look to get those fired up in just a little while, get an over-the-shoulder view from these crew members. You also heard them do a baseline glove and hap check.
Come back. It's just the cable. Grab something, yeah, you can feel it. You grab the lift. There. You want it? I could bring that alongside me just a little bit more. You can see it. Looks good. Thank you. Clear now. Looking good. Everything looks good. Andy, I'm gonna head out down here over there. Later.
Copy. And while you're translating, I'll read you a caution and warning. A caution for you, Ricky. Please avoid inadvertent contact with the S0 Node 2 fluid tray hard lines, which span the gap between lab and Node 2. And Drew, a warning for you. Please do not translate on the gap spanners restraining the Node 3 lab ammonia jumpers.
Copy that. I've got him in view. Okay, copy that.
And for now, the two crew members splitting off. This is Ricky Arnold here, EV1 in the center of our screen. You can tell he's got the red stripes around the legs of his spacesuit, and he's making his way out along Quest and eventually along the Destiny laboratory. Meanwhile, going underneath on the nadir or the Earth-facing side is EV2 Drew Foystel. Again, they're going to move over to their first task, which is going to be mating or connecting a power and a data cable, which they're eventually going to then route or maneuver all the way over to the very front side of the station on the front of Node 2.
On this side of the lab. That's very useful. It's put there just for you. Yep, came in real handy just now. I'm glad it finally got some love. Yep.
And it looks like we have one helmet camera online. This is the helmet cam for Drew Feustel, who's EV2. You'll be able to tell if you look in that lower right corner of your screen, that small 17. That's going to be Drew's camera. For Ricky Arnold, he'll have a small 18 once we get that camera up online. You can see as he moves along these handrails, a lot of cables are actually already routed on the outside of the International Space Station. There's a lot to keep track of for them. And they'll be routing 2 new ones today.
0288. Yeah, Drew, it's 0288. It's at the forward end of lab. It's just above and to the right of the trunnion pin.
I got it. Right next to 0226. Andy, would you give me my handrail as well, please?
Yep, it's the No 2 handrail 0332.
That's what I thought. All right.
So, Ricky, once you've dropped your green hook on No 2 handrail 0332, then you can translate nadir and port to the worksite. And Drew, once you've dropped your green hook, then you'll be looking for the connector panel, which is right there on the by the end cone of lab.
Hey, I'm staring at J106 connector. My green hook is dropped. You want my reel locked or unlocked, Andy?
Unlocked, we'd prefer.
Unlocked.
Yeah, unlocked, please. So, Ricky, you can translate nadir and port to the No 2 worksite. And Drew, you have the right connector. So if you need to, you can BRT, and then we'll get started on the demate.
I'm ready for demate ops.
Copy. So then you will be demating the...
Are you going to be ready for that stuff?
All right, Drew. So you can demate the IDA power cable, Papa 106 Alpha, from the lab connector Juliet 106.
Hey, that's in work.
And so right now we're looking over the shoulder of Drew Feustel, EV number 2. His first pass, he's going to be disconnecting this power cable, which we saw him just release.
Things look good. No FOD.
Here referred to FOD, foreign object debris.
And the EMI band?
EMI band is intact.
And so right now he's just checking the health and status of the cable and its connection.
Cable connector end, and you'll be looking for Papa 106 Bravo and Juliet 106 Alpha.
And the Papa and Juliet designations just refer to the different ends. They have indicators on the cables so they know which end goes to where.
Let's see you, buddy. Hey, Andy, where am I going? Below me. For this handrail. I think it's 0330, is that correct?
So, Ricky, you...
0300, is it?
Yeah, so you're going to string the crew lock bag between handrail 0300 and 0379, which is on the circumferential handrail just before the gap spanner, so below the gap spanner. And Drew, you can remove...
Yeah, down there, Drew. 336, 0365 is right there. 0364 is next to your left hand. Okay. Indy, I've got Papa 106 Bravo in hand.
Okay, you can remove the caps from Papa 106 Bravo and Juliet 106 Alpha. Please do not remove the cap from Juliet 1.
Okay, Okay, cap is tethered to the cap keeper, and I'm removing the cap of Papa 106 Bravo. It's removed. Things look good. The MI band looks good.
Copy. And for Rick...
You want me to connect that one before I mess with the other one?
Just a second. Yeah, you can go ahead and connect that cable. So Papa 106 Bravo goes to the lab connector Juliet 106.
Copy, it can work. And you said you...
I said 0379. It's the one just nadir of 0365.
Let's see.
And so some careful configuration work right now for Drew Feusel as he connects this power cable. The cable on both ends comes out to kind of a Y configuration with two connectors on both ends of this cable. One of these is going to plug into the power cable that was originally plugged into the Destiny laboratory, which is providing power to some heaters over on the International Docking Adapter. The other end will actually get plugged into Destiny, so that way they have kind of a daisy chain to continue providing that power to the International Docking Adapter, as well as this new cable, which is going to get carried along by Ricky Arnold over to the worksite where they're going to be installing these new cameras. And then the two Y connectors on the end of that power cable will provide power to both of those cameras.
All right, this can work. Andy, I've got Papa 106 Alpha in hand. If you're ready, I'll remove the cap and then connect that to the Papa 106 Alpha that I removed originally.
So there should have been a cap on Juliet 106 Alpha, right? Rather than Papa 106 Alpha, which you removed from the... But yeah, you can go ahead and connect Papa 106 Alpha to Juliet 106 Alpha.
Hey Andy, that cable's demated.
Copy. You can temp stow it away from the MMOD panel, and then you can retrieve the MMOD T-handle tool from the crew log bag, but leave it redded to the bag for now. And then you'll be installing the T-handle tool in the panel, in the MMOD panel.
Okay, that sounds good.
And there's another acronym for you. MMOD stands for Micrometeoroid and Orbital Debris. There's an MMOD panel, which is essentially a piece of shielding that Ricky Arnold's going to work to remove, and that'll open up the entryway to where the data connection cable is housed, where Drew Feusel will be able to basically do what he's doing with the power cable, a similar function with that Ethernet data cable, at which point Ricky Arnold's going to start moving all of these over to the work site.
Handrail right there should be lab handrail 0268. It's the circumferential handrail right by the connector panel.
Okay, Andy, I see, let me see, two of these guys. Do you have a preference? There's one right near Drew, and I can take the, what looks to be the nadir one, right under the antenna. Is that what you're looking for? One off. Take this panel right here.
Say again, Ricky?
No, this is the panel. It's the one that's in the way of the connector. Yeah, so I was going to go ahead and attach the T-handle tool right underneath the antenna, because that's the most clear of Drew right now, if that's where you want it.
Yeah, so this T-handle...
goes in the middle.
Yeah, the T-handle tool goes to the middle of the panel. This is to... not to actually release the Zeus fasteners, but to hold it.
Gotcha, yep. Okay, one is installed.
Okay, so then once it's installed...
go ready for the crew lock bag.
Excellent. And once it's installed, it's secure, so you can relocate the RET from the crew lock bag and just pull it across to node 2 handrail 0365. We'll be using that to tend the shield away from the work site.
Okay. 0365. I think that's right where I am, or pretty close to it. See you down there. Did I just bump into you? Maybe. I didn't notice. You can't hurt steel. All right, that's on 0365, Andy.
Copy. Then you can retrieve a wire tie caddy from the crew lock bag and stow it on your MWS. Just make sure it's not the CATS wire tie caddy.
It should be the one with 9, right? 2 of them bundled on a AET. It is. This is an awesome tether point. Close.
And Ricky, once you have the wire tie caddy, then we'll take a glove inspection and a hab check for you. And Drew, once Ricky has given us that, then you can transfer the power cable bundle to Ricky.
Okay, it's ready. And can I have, I'd like to disconnect P106 Alpha from A106 Alpha just to temporarily reroute it, or to reroute it better underneath this another cable here.
Okay, stand by just a second, because we need Alex to stand by internally. It's not a requirement, it just might cure it a little better. If we can't do it, then it's okay. No, that's fine. Just wanted to make sure Alex hadn't started yet. So you are go to demate Papa 106 Alpha from Juliet 106 Alpha. And work. I'm going to put one more ret down on the screw lock bag for now, Drew, just to hold it in place. Buddy. I'm trying to make your life a little easier. I appreciate that. For the first time in what seemed like 900 days to you. I was going to say 9 months. And gentlemen, in case you haven't... Andy, I have the... Sorry? Go ahead. I was just going to say that the sun had set, just in case you hadn't noticed. Yes, it did. Thank you. All right, so Andy, went ahead and tidy up the crew lock bag just a little bit, and I have the wire tie caddy ready to the front of my mini workstation, and I'm ready, I guess, for Drew to give me the power cable. There it is. All right, and then after that, we'll take a glove inspection and hab check, please. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me get this thing around here.
And so in just a moment, you'll hear the astronauts do a glove and a hab check. The hab's the helmet absorbency pad. It's essentially just a small pad inside the back of their helmet. If there were ever to be water introduced in the helmet, it would be in there to absorb it. They're going to regularly check their gloves as they're doing everything with their hands, and gloves are typically the most vulnerable part of the spacesuit during the spacewalk.
Please. And again, we suggest lab handrail 0268.
That's going to go on. That's where we're at. Well, we should take a turn off of here. All right, so I'm staying on the lab side with this. Down and around the bottom. Yeah. I think they want it to be sort of back, right about a meter from the end cone.
And Ricky, before you start routing the cable, we'd like a glove inspection and hab check, please.
You're giving me way too much credit. I was just trying to get the bundle stowed. Okay, hab is dry. Look at my right glove. I don't see any changes. Left glove, don't see any changes. Night cycle is a good idea. Check a few other things. Safety tether coming back. Looks clear. Yeah, I see you got the cable. Yeah. Good. You're going to be so happy with this bag. Okay. You are. It's life-changing. And my left glove looks great, Andy, as well. No changes.
Copy all, Drew. Copy all, Ricky.
Not underneath the... Oh, sorry, yeah. Yeah, it's under the gap spanner. If you could maybe just, yeah. I didn't, yep. Is that better for you? Good. That will work better, I think.
So a quick handover will get that video signal back momentarily, but for now the crew members running about 10 minutes ahead so far in their timeline. This first task is just getting initially that power cable installed, and then pretty soon Ricky Arnold, the lead spacewalker, is going to start routing that cable along the outside of these modules over to node 2, where they're going to be connecting some new cameras that they'll be installing a little bit later in our spacewalk today. While Arnold's doing that, Drew Foysel's going to work to connect an Ethernet data cable. Before that, eventually will also get routed over to node 2 and then installed in place. They'll temporarily tie those cables down and then move back to the airlock to retrieve the cameras, which are on metallic booms, basically long metallic arms that they're going to eventually install over by that international docking adapter over on node 2.
Andy, I snapped some pictures for you of the cable connections. I know it's dark, but the helmets look like they're doing a good job.
Excellent. We appreciate it. And Drew, are you happy with all the cable connections? Then, if you are, then we'll give Alex the go to do the IV part.
Yes, both cable connections, except for J1, which is the third, are all complete, reconfigured. All the bails are over-centered, and the connectors look clear.
Excellent. And first check, is your safety tether free and clear?
Yes, it is.
Excellent. Thank you. Then
you're not a lot today.
That's right.
My safety tether. I think they want that thing. All right, first handrail, Andy, I think is 0207 on the forward stanchion.
That's affirm. 0207 forward stanchion, and please route the cable aft of the scuff plate on the trunnion.
All righty, thank you. Got it. It's kind of just aft of the trunnion itself. If you really want me to tack it down, I'd have to tack it down to 0226. Yeah, it's laying across the scuff plate and a slide wire. You want to, yeah, I think it'd be better if we put one there, but that's up to those guys.
No,
we need to use an existing wire type.
We were good with the words that you had there, that it's crossing the scuff plate and the slide wire, no problem.
If you want me to tack it down before you do, I can. Well, remember the count shall be free.
It's not necessary. If you want to do it, that's fine, but it's...
It could come up over the scuff plate. Yeah, I think it could too. So I'm just going to tuck it in the end of this wire tie, and then we'll call it good. All right, sounds good. And then I'll go ahead and crimp it down here. Here you go. Place.
All right. I will read you some warning and cautions now that we're beginning to route the cable. So first, warning, when securing cable to handrails with wire ties, please verify that your safety tether cable is not trapped underneath the cable. Next, please stay 1.3 feet from the UHF antenna. Also, please do not contact the Lab Nader EWC antenna booms. They are spring-mounted and could spring back at you. And then a couple cautions. Please do not BRT to the EWC antenna handrails, which are numbers 0270 alpha and 0271 alpha. And finally, please avoid inadvertent contact with the open CBM pedal covers around Columbus.
Thank you.
Andrew, we'll...
Come back. Arm is obviously sort of off to your right, Ricky, about a meter away. Yeah, okay, copy that. And you got another antenna off to the other side.
Yeah, I'm running a
behind you right there, so
yeah.
you have to thread the needle there.
Try to get a little bit of cable off.
Andy, is his cable supposed to go aft of those antennas or forward?
It goes to the EWIS, goes to that second, I think there's a handrail over near that second EWIS antenna that keeps the forward of it, I think.
Okay.
I'm just guessing.
Ricky, Andrew, the cable should go aft of the EWIS antennas. Those are those small antennas on the handrails.
Yeah, we're talking about the big, I think they're EWIS. The EWIS, the two large...
The EWC, right? So the cable goes forward of those.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, that's I think what we're talking about.
All right, yep.
Oh man, this cat keeper rat is not helping.
Yeah, well, it's red. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Hey, Andy, I think, ready to try to release the Zeus fasteners on the...
Copy that, Drew. We'll take a glove inspection and hab check first, please.
My left glove is brand new. Looks great. The right glove also looks great. And hat was dry.
Copy that. We're glad to hear it. So your first step is to release the trunnion MLI from the MMOD shield.
Where's the arm?
And Ricky, next for you, you're looking for a lab handrail 0265. It's another horizontal one. It's the second row past where you are, or where you just wire tied it down, and it's just before you get to the UHF antenna.
Okay, thank you.
Trunnion MLI is released, Andy.
Copy. So you can translate to the crew lock bag. If you need to, you can loosen the gap spanner, and then you can retrieve the second MMOD T-handle tool, but leave it tethered to the bag is our recommendation.
Hey, Ricky left it out for me, and I see that the, what side is that? Nadermost Zeus fastener does not look like it's connected, and the other ones are accessible.
Andy, I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
This adjustable that's going to my cap keeper is wrapped such that every time I go to deploy the cable, I have to disconnect it. The cap keeper is captive to caps. Is that good enough? Can I just release this adjustable, attach it to one of the French hooks on the cap keeper, and keep myself in the hardware safe?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine, Ricky.
That's what I thought, but I just want to confirm. Thank you.
And back.
Andy,
Yeah, go ahead, Drew.
Nader Zeus has been released. I think the Zenith Zeus is released. If you go, I'll release the center.
Yep, we're go. And once that's released,
02.
go ahead, Ricky.
0265 forward, correct?
That's correct. And Drew, once you've released the center Zeus fastener, then you can lift up the outer edge of the shield and let the other T-handle tool kind of pull it back, leaving the tangs engaged in the center. And we'd love to get a inspection, just a quick inspection of the Zenith Zeus fastener, and let us know if there's any damage or splaying.
Well, there must be something because it's still slightly engaged, as though, even though it looks like it's not. As AJF was here. Than me.
And so right now, this is a view over the shoulder of Drew Feustel. He's working to remove that MMOD, that micrometeoroid and orbital debris shield. It's a panel on the Destiny laboratory that helps protect the module and all of the components around the outside from any potential space debris impacts. Once he gets this removed, he'll be able to install the Ethernet data cable, which will be cable number 2 routed out to the work site over on the forward end of Node 2, where they're going to be installing these new cameras.
Stand by.
Meanwhile, right now, Ricky Arnold is moving out there with the power cable. He's going to be tying it down using wire ties to a number of these handrails.
The failed one? The one that gave us a lot of trouble last time. Yeah. I thought we wire tied it, but I think we've got it in. It's not really. I think it's splayed, and it's kind of splayed down inside the connector or the ocean there. Andy, 0265 is complete.
Copy that. Then you are going zenith and starboard to lab handrail 0274. It's the circumferential handrail right by that trunnion pin above the UHF antenna. And you can pass the cable either forward or aft of the UHF stanchion. It's up to you.
Okay, thank you. Andy, I'm interested in looking for an option to use the pry bar gently under the cover to see if I can get it to separate a little bit.
Yeah, that'll probably be our next option, but could you try to shimmy it out? Is there any way to do that?
Do what?
Kind of shimmy the panel out just before we go to the pry bar.
Yeah, I tried that a bit. It's pretty well engaged in there, and all I'm doing is sort of prying on the aluminum, and it's just going to bend back.
Okay, then. Yeah, we copy that. So you are go to retrieve the pry bar, and while you do that, I'll just read you a couple warnings. Be careful to touch the backside of the MMOD shield or handle the fastener fragments. They might have sharp edges. Also, the fastener and shield tool interface should be covered to avoid potential projectiles.
And so right now we're looking over the shoulder of Drew Foysel. He's using a pry bar to try and get a
protect yourself from
MMOD shield that's not quite cooperating off so he can access a data cable.
Anything else to kind of shield yourself from fragments?
Yeah, that's going to be hard to do with only two hands. If I had more hands, that might work. I'm using the T-handle tool, trying to rotate the Zeus fastener while I try to see if I can find a spot that it'll loosen up on.
Andrew, if you think you need Ricky's help, we'll have Ricky temp stow the cable and he can come back and assist.
Stand by a sec. I'm just about done with this attachment here at 0274. Do we know what the orientation of the straight line on the Zeus fastener? See, I see the alignment mark, so I got to align that. I'll make sure it's aligned properly. See a lock position and a sticker for the unlock edge. That's aligned. Yep, that is well secured. So, Houston, what side is that connector on, that G106? Is it down near the other end? Or is it closer to me?
Drew, it's in the middle.
Do you think you need a hand, or do you want me to continue? Well, I'm not sure what good it's going to do other than really reaping on this thing. Just wondering if I can see the bottom of it. Okay, I can see the fastener. I can see the back side. I can see the wire. The Zeus fastener is not latched to the wire, so the splayed end is what's keeping it from passing back through the connector. I think that it's possible, I don't know if you guys think it is, to hold the cover back and maybe get to the center connector. Well, I haven't looked to see where it is. Houston, I'm going to continue routing until he decides he needs my assistance. How's that sound? Can you guys see that on WVX now?
Yeah, we're seeing that. So just for awareness, Drew, there's some MLI underneath that shield that you need to release as well. So you'll need to be able to release another Zeus fastener for the MLI.
Yeah, I can see that. And that Zeus fastener looks like those are on the ends, right? I think there's one in the middle here.
Yeah, so we're thinking you probably only need to undo the end one.
Okay. And okay. Let's put up here.
Andrew, would it help if Ricky came back and kind of held up one edge?
Well, if you guys, I think if we want to release this, I'm going to have to get
help holding it. Let me put this one wire tie on, and then I can leave the bundle here too, and that'll. I guess, Houston, my thought is that I'm not sure if any amount of force is going to squeeze those pangs back together and actually get that thing through there unless you really put the pry bar down in there and start really putting some pressure on it.
Yeah, we copy. We understand what you're saying.
It's pretty splayed. I mean, it's almost like it might be better just to bend that tab that it's hooked to, bend it out with the cover so that it allows us some access, or just try and hold the cover back to get in there.
And Drew, we understand that you could be destroying the Zenith Zeus fastener, and we're okay with that as long as you stay safe.
I think it's already destroyed. Yeah, mostly. Those are words I never thought I'd hear today. It's already destroyed. You guys should be able to see what's going on here. I think because of the flexibility of this entire system, that it's possible that I can't impart enough force on this. It just keeps forming the anchor point instead of separating cover. Really get it in the right spot in the long end. Only get the short end in there. Oh, I think maybe plan B, which is see if I can reach the connector. Just peeling back doing the other Zeus fastener on the MLI and holding the cover back.
Andrew, we're fine with that as long as you take care not to actually bend or put a permanent bend in the shield.
Yeah, I understand that, and I do not believe that will be an issue, but we will monitor that as we go along here. All right, Andy, 0334 on the forward stanchion's complete. You want to continue 0347? One second, see if I can see this. I'm really no farther away from Drew than I was. Use for the MLI is released.
Ricky, you can keep going until Drew asks for your help. So if you could just double check that the cable is zenith of handrail 0334, then you can continue to 0347.
Well, I wired it a little bit, I think a little bit nadir. That showstopper?
Yeah, we'll want the power cable zenith of the handrail because the Ethernet cable will be running nadir of the handrail.
Okay. Yeah, I can see J14.
Copy, you can see it. Do you think you can access it?
I think I can access it with my left hand. Let me see. All right, Andy, I moved to Zenith. Yeah, Ricky, I think we need you to come and hold this panel. All right, then I'm going to leave this bundle here. I think if Ricky holds the panel back, it should be no problem for me to get in there and release it and attach the Ethernet cable.
Okay, that sounds good. We're good with that plan.
I'm leaving the bundle there. I'll be there in a sec, Drew.
So Spacewalker Drew Foystel still wrestling with an uncooperative panel here. He needs to get underneath this panel, which acts as shielding for part of the Destiny laboratory in order to access a data connection where he's going to be unplugging an Ethernet connector, plugging it into a cable that they brought out with them, plugging another end of that Ethernet cable into the Destiny lab, and then that cable will then get routed out along pretty much the same path as the power cable to where they're going to be connecting both power and data to two new cameras. as they are having some issues getting the panel off. It looks like the plan is going to be to have Ricky Arnold make his way back. He's been routing that power cable along towards node 2. He's going to come back and try and hold the panel open, giving Drew Foysel access to reach inside to these connectors, and hopefully they can get this done.
Yeah, I'm going. Just need you to...
So Ricky Arnold making his way back now. Drew Foysel is going to stand by for him. We are 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 50 seconds so far into today's spacewalk.
Yeah.
Drew and Ricky, just for your awareness, we're working on getting some words to you about taking some photos as well, because we have to access this location in a couple months for another EVA.
Pull it farther? I can pull it further. It's separating the MLI underneath, but the it's fine. Two separate pieces. Yep, there you go. How's that? Better. I think it's going to come right off. What? Vector. Let's get the bail out. Go over center. Another. You try, I got a little longer arm. You do. There you got it. Nice job. I don't know if it's all the way up, though. Feels like it's not getting quite over. Keep it going. Keep it going. It's down, but... yeah, I think I had my arm in this way before.
And this is a view from the helmet cam on Ricky Arnold's suit. You can see Drew Foysel right in front of him. Ricky Arnold's holding this panel open, hopefully giving just enough room for Drew Foysel to get access inside. He needs to demate or disconnect a data cable that's located in there that he's going to then plug into a data cable that he's brought out with him, and then reconnect that to the data connection on the Destiny lab.
Copy. So Papa 14 is released from... Copy. Papa 14 released from Juliet 14.
And good news, sounds like he was able to get a hold of it.
We'll need to retrieve the Ethernet cable bundle from the crew log bag, and then we'll have to get the connector ends of that Ethernet cable and remove the connector caps from Papa 14 and Juliet 1.
Trying to shine a light down there, but be dark. Okay. Papa 14, I think, is the big right angle connector. Release this one. Papa 14, cap's coming off of Papa 14, it's on the keeper.
Copy. Then you can mate Papa 14 to lab Juliet 14.
Okay, that's released. I'm trying to get some images, Houston. It's pretty dark in there.
Copy that. We'll take whatever you can get us, and we're coming up on a day pass shortly.
Okay, that's the cable. Ricky is free. At least 14. Okay, the connector locking. Got a pretty free floating back shell on it. Make it fun. The other way. You need a lot of memory in that thing. Yeah. I think I need to pull the cap off of this one so that I can have this end free. All right. The cap is coming off of J1 P14.
Copy that.
Yeah, that's free. If you could, I guess it should be free out of the way, but might have to tend it a little bit.
And we're looking at one of the ends of the cable. You can see it splits off into two different ones. One of those connectors is going to go to the cable that was previously plugged in to kind of daisy chain and make sure it has good connection. And then that other one, that right angle, is going to go into the connector on the station itself, providing data capability to this new cable as well as the one that was previously attached. Eventually, this cable is also going to get routed out along the outside of the station to the forward portion of Node 2, the Harmony module, where along with the power cable, it's going to get connected to two new cameras that are going to be installed in just a couple of hours from now.
That back shell just floating. Like a free floating back shell. Partly on. Look like it's from this side looks okay. This is the side where the 90 degrees blocking. There you go. Got it. Nice job. Okay, Houston. That's connected.
Copy that. That's excellent work.
And then lock the free ends connected as well.
Yeah, so next step will be to connect Juliet 1 to Papa 14, which you released previously.
All right, give me a few potatoes here. Thanks, buddy. That's not helpful. Vector's not helpful to itself. Grab this guy. To pull it out a little bit there, and yeah, I got to trying to keep my face off of this.